In the 1970s, one glassmaker claimed he could make wine taste better, just by changing the shape of the glass. Scientists called it a placebo, and wine critics called it genius. And Riedel built a $100 million empire. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know who was right, and whether you've been using the wrong glass this whole time. My name is Madeline Paquette, and this is Wine Folly, and today we're diving into the most controversial idea in wine, varietal-specific glassware. Stick around because I've tested it myself, and the answer might surprise you. Our story starts with Claus Riedel in the 1970s and his son George. Their family had been making glassware for 270 years, but when George Riedel joined the family business, he had this obsession. He believed the shape of a wine glass could completely change how the wine was perceived. For years, George studied with what he called the physics of wine delivery to the mouth. He tested many glass shapes with winemakers, sommeliers, and critics, and in 1973, Riedel released the Sommelier's Collection, the world's first wine glasses intended for specific wines. These weren't just fancy glasses, they were $20 a stem, and in 1973, that's $150 today. And here's where it gets weird. People loved them. Top restaurants bought them, sommeliers swore by them, and the wine world had never seen anything quite like it. So what did Riedel discover that no one had understood before? Wine glass shape doesn't change the wine itself. It changes three things: where the aroma hits your nose, how much ethanol evaporates, and where the wine lands on your palate. Now, for decades, skeptics said that this was pure marketing. In 2008, NPR and Gourmet magazine ran blind taste tests and found no difference between expensive varietal glasses and cheaper ones. Fast forward to 2015, something changed. A team at Tokyo Medical and Dental University, led by Professor Koji Mitsubayashi, built a camera that could actually see ethanol vapor rising from the wine. They tested glass shapes at 13 degrees Celsius, and what they found was surprising. In a traditional wine glass, ethanol vapor forms a ring pattern around the rim, but it stays lower in the center, so your nose can enjoy the aroma without being hit by too much alcohol burn. In martini glasses and straight-sided glasses, that ring pattern completely disappears. There was no consistency in the aroma delivery. Régis Goujon, a wine scientist at the University of Burgundy, called this the first time glass's geometry impact on flavor was visually validated. This wasn't just a placebo, it was actual physics. But here's where it gets interesting. Where Claus Riedel initiated the concept, his son George democratized it. In 1986, George released the Vinum collection. This is the world's first machine-made varietal-specific glasses. And these weren't $150 a stem, they were much more affordable. Suddenly, wine hobbyists like you and me could access what was once only available to Michelin-starred restaurants. Today, Riedel makes everything from ultra-premium sommeliers line to everyday friendly stemless glasses, following the same principles that they developed 50 years ago. But do you actually need varietal-specific glasses? Let me show you what we here at Wine Folly recommend. Before we go further, full disclosure, Riedel collaborated with us on this video so we could get access to their whole story and video content. And we're marking them as sponsored content. But what I want to show you isn't just their products, it's what to actually look for when you're evaluating any wine glass from any producer. We've tested dozens of wine glasses over the years here at Wine Folly, and whether you're spending $15 or $150, here's what separates the good from the great. First, crystal versus glass. Crystal contains minerals, usually 2 to 30%, that strengthen the material. This lets manufacturers blow thinner, more delicate glasses that are actually more durable than thick glass. Second, seamless construction. Look for no visible seams on the stem or bowl. This affects both durability and how the glass feels in your hand. Third, the rim thickness. A thin, polished rim, about 1 millimeter, lets wine flow smoothly into your palate without any interference. Thicker rims literally get in the way of tasting. Fourth, dishwasher safety. Modern crystal can absolutely withstand dishwashers. Look for brands that explicitly state dishwasher safe. It's a game changer. Now, for the shapes. If you're building a collection, you're gonna wanna consider 3 core types. Ta-da! The Cabernet or Bordeaux glass. Tall bowl, larger opening, and this is for thick-skinned red grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot or Touriga Nacional. The height increases the distance of the wine to your nose, which softens the burn, and the wider rim directs wines to both sides of your tongue first, making the tannins taste smoother. Then we've got the Burgundy or Pinot Noir glass. It's a wide, balloon-shaped bowl. It's designed for thin-skinned red grapes like Pinot Noir or Nebbiolo or Gamay. That round bowl collects and concentrates subtle aromatics right under your nose. And finally, we've got your white wine glass, much smaller bowl and a narrower rim opening. This preserves acidity and maintains a cooler temperature and directs the wine right to the tip of your tongue, which keeps wine tasting crisp. Differently, a Chardonnay glass has a wider bowl and it's better for oaked creamy styles. Do grape varietal specific glasses make a difference? Yes, absolutely. The science backs it up. Do you need 15 different types? No. Here's what I'd recommend based on where you're at as a wine drinker. If you're just getting started, you probably want to get 1 red glass and 1 white wine glass. Maybe a Bordeaux style for reds and a white wine glass. This will cover 80% of what you drink. If you find yourself drinking a lot of Pinot Noir, a glass like this is going to make a huge difference. They genuinely really do great on aromatic wines. And remember, when you're shopping, look for a thin rim, a clear bowl, a seamless stem, and dishwasher-safe crystal. Hold the glass. Each should actually feel balanced while you're holding the stem and not top-heavy. So was the Riedel family selling a placebo? No, the science ended up backing them up in the long run. Were they marketing geniuses? Yes, they turned a glass shape from something no one thought about into a total game changer for wine enjoyment. So here's my challenge to you. Get yourself a glass, a regular tumbler, and a wine glass. Smell both, taste both. Tell me in the comments if you notice a difference. I want to see if we wine geeks are still blowing smoke up our own butts. And as always, we have a partner article to this. Head over to winefolly.com and start your free membership access to great articles, online courses, and so much more. Thanks again for watching Wine Folly. Now go drink something good in the proper glass. Cheers. Pretty good.